Good morning to all the students of class 11th Political Science. And students, welcome back to the online classes here. And as you know, we were doing our first part, that is your first book, Indian Constitution at Work. And we had finished all the chapters in that according to the new revised syllabus. And the last chapter which we were doing was the 8th chapter of your book. And that name was Local Government. We had already finished it. And as I told you, from this new lecture and from today, we are going to start our second book, and the name of the second book is Political Theory and Introduction. This is although the first chapter, but the name of the book is Political Theory. So today we are going to start this book and this first chapter, that is Political Theory and Introduction. This is an introduction to this book, that what are the concepts we are going to study and understand by reading this book. So this I am going to discuss later on, but first of all I want to discuss the syllabus which has been updated for you. So the chapters which we will be doing in this book are first chapter, which is very important, as we should know what do we understand by political theory and why we are required to study it, and what are the concepts and topic undertaken under political theory. Okay, so we'll see the significance of this book, that is political theory, in its introduction. Then the second chapter you can say freedom. It used to be only freedom, but now the chapter is freedom versus liberty, or liberty versus freedom. So we will also try and find the difference between these two. Then equality we will study in detail, and then social justice and justice. Basically the name has been turned and changed into updated as justice only. And then we'll see rights. These three chapters have been removed, so you can also cut them from your book if you are having the older book. Citizenship has been removed, nationalism has been removed, secularism has been removed. This chapter, peace, this as well has been removed. So maximum of the chapters have been removed. If I say you, otherwise you had to study so many chapters, but these four important chapters I can say have been removed. So that's good for you, that you have to only study 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters, and you have to study them properly. And we will be starting the first chapter today. Okay, that is political theory and introduction. And the last chapter which you have to do is chapter number 10, that is development. So here we will find the differences between development and growth, and various we can say models related to development. So first of all, let's focus on the first chapter, that is political theory and introduction. Okay, so by its name you can understand political theory. This is very close to the politics or the political phenomena or the political concepts which we are seeing here: justice, freedom, or equality, rights, fundamental duties. These are all the political phenomena in real life which are functional. Okay, but we are talking about the political theory. So we'll try and see what do we understand by political theory, and what are the practically when we study political theory. So what are the concept? So for example, let's take in class 10th you are having the science subject, you are having physics, chemistry. Okay, in that you are having theories as well as practical. You had different marks for the practical, but in case you have to understand the practical properly, if you have to perform the practicals properly, you have to understand the basic concepts which were important to perform that particular experiment. To perform that experiment practically, you needed to study the theory first. So first of all, your teacher taught you the theory properly, all the concepts were made clear to you regarding that particular experiment, and later on you were taken to the lab to perform those experiments. In the same way, there are political thinkers who presently also, and in the past also, there has been many great political thinkers, and among India we can say Mahatma Gandhi or B.R. Ambedkar. So, and there are many others also from different countries which we will be studying in this book. So these great political thinkers or scholars have given various theories relating to political concepts which we are currently using, like relating to fundamental rights, equality, why equality is important, why fundamental rights are so significant and important for each and individual person in our country, what is the importance of a democratic country, what is universal adult franchise, what is the importance, why every a citizen above 18 years or 18 years or above 18 years should be allowed to vote, how he should represent its government. So all these concepts, phenomenal or political phenomena have come into practicals only when the particular theories were given by the political thinkers regarding it. So under political theory, we'll try to understand that from where these concepts or political phenomena like freedom, equality, social justice, rights, when we talk of secularism, when we had talked about citizenship, we talk about peace. Okay, so all these concepts or political phenomena which are functional at the moment in our country, if you talk about their situation currently, so all those have come out of political theories. So I hope you will understand, and in this chapter, particularly political theory, we'll try and understand that what is the need and importance of reading all these political phenomena, and what is the background and what was the base from where this freedom, equality and these political phenomena have come into functional, as we are using them in real life. As we know what is the importance of freedom and equality in our life, but they haven't come directly. So a lot of theories by the different scholars have been given. Okay, so we'll try and understand that. So before I start reading the content of your NCRT book, as it is explained by various examples, so it would be easy for you to understand, as it is very significant. This chapter is very important for you to understand, so that it is very much clear to you that why we are reading this book. As you already know about equality, justice, freedom, we have already completed this in the first book. And yes, your first book, that is Indian Constitution at Work, you can say that book was a practical to you, where we were studying the concept or the political phenomena which are existing in real life, and we are studying them and we are included in it. Like we were talking about the constitution, the functioning of constitution, various provisions in the constitution related to fundamental rights, fundamental duties, okay, directive principles of state policies, elections and representation, and three organs of the government: executive, legislature, judiciary, and the division of powers between these three organs. And then we read about concepts relating to local governments, which we studied under the amendments of 73rd and 74th amendment of the constitution. So all this was, we can say, a practical concepts which we are studying. But in this book we'll see the theories which have been given by the various political thinkers regarding the practical concept or the political phenomena which are existing in our real life. Like we are seeing the government, the functioning of government, the type of governments, Lok Sabha, Parliament. So all this has come into practicality only after there was various theories given by the great political thinkers. So I hope you must have understood what I am trying to explain it to you. So political theory, we can say, is a body of thought which seeks to evaluate, predict and explain political phenomena. So political theory is type of a body, take a body of thought which seeks to evaluate. So when we are talking about political theory, it always evaluate, it predict and explain political phenomena, and it also explains the meaning and significance of political concept. If I'm talking about political concept or political phenomena like secularism or fundamental rights, so it is we can say it is only through political theory we are able to understand the meaning and significance of such political concepts, and clarifies the existing definitions, and whatever are the existing present current definitions of various political phenomena. If I talk about the universal adult franchise, that is the right to vote, the citizens who are above 18 years or 18 years are allowed to vote or show their representation by electing their representative. So it is we can say only through political theory that we are able to clarify the current existing definitions of these political concepts. So the role of political theories are very important. Whatever the practicality we are seeing in our real life, it is only through the base, and the base has been provided by the political theory. Okay, so now I will start with this NCRT book. So starting this chapter of your political theory and introduction, so they have started with the examples of human beings, and we can say other species like animals. We are so blessed and we are so special, we can say, that we can show our feelings, we can express whatever we feel like, what we can also discuss our ideas and concepts which we want or which are desirable for the society or for our family or for our individuality. So it is through only the we can say language and communications which as humans can use, which other species can't. So here you can see human beings are unique in two respects. If I talk about human beings, so we are unique in two respects. They possess reason and ability to reflect on their actions. If there is any action by us, it means it must be having some reasons, and that is why we reflect it through our actions. They also have the capacity to use languages, communicate with each other. So this is very important. As human beings, we have the capacity to share whatever we feel like through our language, and that is we can communicate with each other. Unlike other species, if we talk about other species like animals, we can say they can express their innermost thoughts and desires. They can share their ideas and discuss what they consider to be good and desirable. So it means unlike other species cannot do this. Like we can express our innermost thoughts, what I am feeling, what are my desires. I can also share my ideas. I can discuss what I want, what they consider to be good and desirable, but other species can't. So in this sense, human beings are unique. So we can say we are blessed. Political theory. So if we connect this concept now with political theory, political theory has its roots in the twin aspects of the human self. It analyzes certain basic questions such as how should society be organized. So if we talk about political theory, the very first question which arises and we try to understand by various basic concepts, that is how should society be organized. Okay, why do we need government? So these are some of the questions which we will study, that what is the importance of political theory. This is where political theory comes into action, when we ask such questions that how our society should be organized, why do we need government, what is the best form of government, does law limits our freedom, what does the state owes its citizens, what do we owe each other as citizens. So these are the questions where it is important that through political theory and various theories we will try to understand and answer these questions. Moving forward, political theory examines questions of this kind. So it is the political theory which examines and study and shows various concepts regarding such theories or such questions in the form of government, what kind of government we should have, what should there be freedom, should there be equality, what is the importance of fundamental rights. So all these questions are tackled by under political theory, as you can understand by the word political theory. It is related to politics, but it is a theory, it is not practical. And based on this theory, various concepts are made regarding equality, justice, freedom. Okay, but the background is from the theory, and these theories, as I have told you, are given by the various political thinkers or scholars. So political theory examines questions of this kind and systematically thinks about the values and inform political life. Values such as, so political theory will come into action to solve the values such as freedom, equality, justice. Okay, these are some of the political phenomena, we can say. Those are functional at currently in our real life. They are, we can say, the political phenomena. But as we study them, as from class 6th till class 10th, you have been studying freedom, equality, justice, constitution. Those are in practical life. We haven't read their theory, that what was the base, what was the background on which this concept has come out at currently, which we are seeing. It explains the meaning of the significance of these. So under political theory, we will see what is the importance and significance of these concepts of freedom, equality, justice, etc. Okay, that is why it's written. It explains the meaning and significance of these and other related concepts. It clarifies the existing definitions. It clarifies the existing definitions of these concepts by focusing on some major political thinkers of past and present. So as I told you, it is only through the political theory we are able to focus and clarify the existing definitions. If you are talking about the definition of equality, justice, freedom in the current scenario presently, which are functional, so it is only by the study of political thinkers in the past and present, and then we will clarify what should be the definition recently. It also examines the extent to which freedom or equality are actually present in the institution that we participate in. Okay, so it is also we study in political theory that how far the freedom and equality are actually present. So we are only taking examples of freedom, equality, justice here, but it is relevant to all the political phenomena which are functional, which are practically in our real life. Okay, at an advanced level, it looks at the whether existing definitions are adequate. It is also the responsibility, we can say, or we understand by the political theory, that the concepts which we are studying, are the existing definitions adequate? Are the existing definitions, are they fitting the present situation, the present society of the people, of our citizen? So, how existing institution, government, bureaucracy, and policy practices must be modified? Are there any requirements or for their modification or developments in the old concepts? If there are any requirements, any changes, it are brought only by the study of political theory to become more democratic. The objective of political theory is to train citizens. So what are the objective of political theory? To train citizens to think rationally about political questions. So it is the we can say the aim and objective of political theory, so that every citizen is aware and start thinking rationally about himself, his family, his society, and question the various political questions and assess the political events of our time. And he is also involved in the political processes of our time. So in this chapter we will examine what is meant by politics and political theory and why we should study it. So further in this chapter we will try and understand that what is meant by politics. Okay, we have understood only political theory till now. What do we understand by political theory? So now we will try and understand what is politics and political theory. So we will see the relation between politics and political theory and why we should study it. So the simple meaning of political theory we have understood by the examples, but now in the next video I shall continue it, where we will try and understand what is politics in detail. We will try and understand, and later on we will try and understand the relationship between politics and political theory. Almost they are the same thing, but there is a difference between these two, which we will try and sort out in the next video. But I hope you have understood the introduction part of this book, and which is very important for you if you have to understand this book. So as the name of the chapter is political theory and introduction, and this chapter explains why we are required to study the topics which are taken in this book, that is freedom, equality, justice, development, rights, etc. Okay, so we'll do it in the next video, and I hope you must have understood it. You must go through the chapter, read these examples, you will understand. Okay, till then, thank you, take care.